Make sure you get caught illegally immigrating. Come to the USA. It will be your lucky day, 'cause when you get in, there's lots of goodies waiting.
Well, that is our signal to talk about immigration. Number to call is second hour of this Wednesday edition of Focal Point AFR Talk. If you want to join the program, 888-589-8840 is the number to call. Now, the sad reality when it comes to immigration, this is the way Lamar Smith of Texas put it. President Obama is responsible for the biggest prison break in history. That is not an exaggeration. If you're looking for another decision that the president has made that in my mind is an impeachable offense, this would be it. He is responsible for the biggest prison break in history. Those are the words of Lamar Smith, a congressman from the state of Texas. Now, what is he talking about? Well, this is a story from CBS News, of all places. So this is broken containment. Now it's out there even in the mainstream media. The United States Immigration and Customs Enforcement, that's ICE for short, released 36,007 convicted criminal aliens last year who were awaiting the outcome of deportation proceedings. This according to a report issued by the Center for Immigration Studies. The group of released criminals includes those convicted of homicide, sexual assault, kidnapping, and aggravated assault. A majority of the releases were not required by law and were discretionary. Now, part of the absurd thing is apparently there are some parts of immigration law or policy that require ICE officials to turn some people into society, but most of these, 75% of these, were discretionary. They were at the discretion of the Obama administration. They could decide to keep these guys in custody or let them go. And they've turned these guys loose in American society. I mean, this is staggering to me. The risk this represents to our tranquility, the security of our neighborhoods, our national security. The President of the United States, our President, has opened the latchkey to the prison doors, and he has turned loose 36,007 convicted criminals that were awaiting deportation proceedings. In other words, they had been arrested for committing crimes in America. They had been tried. They had been convicted. They were behind bars, and they were scheduled for deportation. And instead of President Obama sending them out of the country, he sent them into our neighborhoods, sent them into our communities, sent them into our cities, and they're loose, and nobody knows where they are because of only about 25%. You have an illegal alien, he gets apprehended, and he's told to show up for a deportation hearing. Only about 25% of them even bother to show up. They just go AWOL. They know nobody's going to come looking for them. You know, and the 25% that do show up, everybody kind of thinks they're chumps. Why would you do that? They're not going to come looking for you. They're not going to find you. But listen to this list. The 36,007 individuals who were released, that represented 88,000 convictions. So these people, a lot of them convicted on more than one account. So these are bad actors we're talking about here. 193 homicide convictions. Homicide, 193. And these people, instead of being electrocuted, subject to a firing squad, hung by the neck until dead by lethal injection, 193 homicide convictions. The perpetrators are loose right now in American cities, and President Obama and the immigration authorities have absolutely no idea where these people are. 426 sexual assault convictions. So you've got sex criminals that are loose in America. President Obama, no idea where they are. 303 kidnapping convictions. You know, this is one of the things that the cartels do, is they'll kidnap people, hold them for ransom. So here are people that are used to doing that, the kidnapping thing, and they're loose in America. 1,075 aggravated assault convictions, 1,160 stolen vehicle convictions. So be sure you lock your cars and lock them in the garage if you can. 9,187 dangerous drug convictions, 16,000 drunk or drugged driving convictions. You know, people get killed every day by drunk or drugged drivers. These people convicted of it should have been deported. Now they are loose in American society. But this is clip number 4. This is President Obama saying, hey, nothing to worry about here. Let's hear what he had to say.
And keep in mind some of these statistics you may have already heard. It's estimated that over 80% of the folks who are here on an undocumented basis have been here 10 years or longer. Now, these are folks who are woven into the fabrics of our communities. Their kids are going to school with our kids. Most of them are not making trouble. Most of them are not causing crimes. And yet, we put them in this untenuous position. And it creates a situation in which your personnel who've got to go after gangbangers and need to be going after violent criminals and deal with the whole range of challenges, and who have to cooperate with DHS around our counterterrorism activities. You got to spend time dealing with somebody who's not causing any other trouble other than the fact that they were trying to make a living for their families.
So President Obama,
that's just not a good use of our resources.
President Obama is saying, hey, nothing to see here. Most of them are not making trouble. Most of them are not causing crimes. Well, the reality is they've caused a crime by being here. I mean, by definition, a criminal is somebody who breaks the law. That's the definition of a crime. That's the definition of a criminal. A crime is an act that breaks the law. A criminal is somebody who breaks the law. So by definition, every illegal alien, I'm not being hard on him here. I'm just speaking the truth. This is just a fact. Every illegal alien, every individual that's in this country that does not have a right to be here is a criminal by definition. You can look it up in the dictionary. By definition, that makes them a criminal. And so President Obama basically saying, look, they've been here for a long time. You know, and think about what that means from a pragmatic standpoint, the philosophy that President Obama is articulating there. These people, he says, have been in here 10 years or longer. So President Obama essentially is saying this, look, the longer you have broken the law, the easier we are going to go on you. We are going to reward you for breaking the law, and the longer you have broken the law, the more of a reward you are going to get. And you can't imagine anything from a standpoint of justice that is more perverse than that. It turns the whole justice system completely upside down on its head. So President Obama responsible for the biggest prison break in history. You know, and I've got a story here from Breitbart about the Mexican cartels being here in America. Enforcers for a Mexican cartel were reportedly involved in the kidnapping and torture of U.S. teenagers over methamphetamine in St. Paul. Now, the U.S. Attorney's press release omitted all that business about them being Mexicans, about them representing some kind of drug cartel, but the facts are very clear that these enforcers from the drug cartel found these teenagers. They kidnapped them against their will. They bound them and beat them, made violent threats against their family, all from the Mexican cartels. Bottom line, secure the border, period.
Here's